mine because it gives you the whole screen rather than stuff around it. Anyway, so you'll just see this rather than seeing the team stuff around it. That's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so here we have coloured pencils, and we used this. Oh, I used the darker red, didn't I, yesterday? So this one's called it's called dark red.
Dark red, yeah.
Okay, so get that one out. And black, we know what black looks like.
Yeah.
So we don't have to do that, do we? I used the walnut brown.
Yep.
Okay. And I used this brown, which is raw umber.
Yep.
And what was the other colour I used? Oh, blue. And I used the really dark blue. Okay.
Yep.
Which is Hello Blue Reddish. Which is a very, very bizarre name to call something, but it just means that it's a warm blue. It's not a cold blue. Do you understand what I'm saying? Quite weird, but anyway. So I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I have anything else? Oh, green and the green and this green here, which is
earth green yellow. Yep.
Earth green yellow. Okay. Oh, sorry. I should be doing the makeup thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry about that. There's the makeup thing. I'll pop those away. Now, before we actually start on this, we're going to try a different kind of technique. All right. And I'll just pop that aside for a second. I'm just going to, I know you guys might not have A3 paper, so I'm just going to turn this, fold this one in half. That makes my life a lot easier. And what do I normally say we should put underneath the paper when we're rendering?
Yep. Just a plastic kind of thing?
No. Read it. It's a magazine. Come on, guys. I'm trying to... I was doing a really good mime of reading a magazine. And guess what? I can't find my magazine now. Oh, no, I can. It's all right. Stop looking. I found it. Okay? So, there we go. Now, use this one.
Scale.
Yep. It's because it's not very wide. And, but if you've got a ruler that's a little bit bigger, I don't think it's really going to matter. But you don't want this one that's too wide. And I just want you to very, very quickly with your black pencil or with a lead pencil, just see how I've lined my ruler up with the edge of the page. This way you don't have to measure anything. You just keep lining it up with the line before to 3, 4, 5. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got 5. 5, 6, 7. That'll do. And then from this side, turn that way so that I can actually, from that side, because all I'm trying to do is create some squares.
So if you can use the grid paper if you have it.
Yeah, you can use grid paper, but this is for those who don't have grid paper. It's just an easy way of doing grids. What you want to do is you want to make sure that these in the squares needs to be just white without the grid behind it, although it might still work. I'll bring that one across to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So miss the first one and then keep and then we're going to use these 5, and then we're going to move down. But this is just so we can get our hands in for a bit of practice, okay?
Yep.
So if let's choose, I've chosen the raw amber,
Yep.
and I'm just going to give myself a kind of a flattish edge.
Yep.
Sorry, that way.
Yep.
And I'm going to I'm going to press really hard, but I'm going to go back and forward like this. You know how I was getting you to just do it one way?
Yep.
This time I want you to go back and forward, okay?
Sorry, Liz, could you please a little bit move further down the paper? Like, I can't see it paper. Like, I can see your hand, but not, oh yeah, that's better.
Oh, sorry, is that better?
That's better now, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm going to press really hard and just go back and forth. Now, it doesn't matter if you go over the line a little bit. I just want you to get there. So number 1's going to be at the darkest one, the darkest tone, and number 5 will be the lightest. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to do it very, very lightly. Sorry,
Please take as much as time you need. I don't have much to cover, so I will just cover the preview, right? So depending upon that, I will structure my content.
Very, very, can you see that? It's really
Yes, I
light.
can see it,
Really, really light. So that's
Yep.
going to be my lightest one. And then I've got to try and get between there and there tonally. So we're doing a tonal exercise. And so I will try and press so it looks like somewhere in between there and there. I think that could be darker a bit. What do you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit darker, I guess.
Just a little bit? Yeah, I reckon so too. Thanks, guys. And then we do that. And then I want to get a color tone between here and here. So it's going to be a little bit darker, but not so dark that it ends up being the other one. And I'll just go over that a little bit more. That looks okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let's try. This is a really difficult one to do.
Yes.
So we need it to be lighter, but not so light that it's just,
If I'm in Sydney, complete lockdown. Yeah. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel yet. Yeah.
That's not too bad. I think
That's
I want to make,
bad, actually,
yeah, that's not too bad. It sort of sits between those two.
Yep.
Well, I think what I want to do is I want to make that one a bit darker. I want to make them all a little bit darker. I'm going to make that one a bit darker. So you can go back and change things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that what you're trying to do is you're trying to do a tonal step.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. That looks better. I can't, you know how I can tell? I mean, I can sort of tell by looking at it, but when I look up at my own screen, it gives me a much better look at what I'm doing. And I'll get you guys to do this exercise with each one of these pencil colors. And once you've done one, it's sort of very helpful. That one has to be really dark. That one has to be, oh, it's that one there. It has to be so light. Just really, 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 really light. And you have to use a really high voice while you're doing it. Barely touching the paper. And then when that's going to sort of sit in between. That, and then this one's going to be that one. I'm going to make that a bit darker. Yep, and then this one is going to be that. So do that with each one of those coloured pencils.
Yes.
While I'm doing it. And it's just so that we can get our hand back in, get our hand back into rendering technique. Oh, I don't like that one. Let me just make that a little bit darker. Let me make that one a little bit darker too. That's better. Okay, so do that with these, what is it, 6 colours that we've got here, because these are the colours we're going to be using in our actual rendering of our of our interior. Okay, so will I just leave you guys for like 10 minutes to do that, and you can get that done, because you both look like you've got your coloured pencils out. Gia, where are your coloured pencils? Where are your coloured pencils? You should be having your coloured pencils out so that you can do this with me at the same time. That would be lovely. So it's just so that we can get ourselves back into gear. And if you do it with me, that way you don't have to watch this again, which just means that it just takes forever. Okay, there. That one's going to be very, very light. So hard to do this one. Barely touching the page. Barely touching the page. And this one. Oh, that's good. And then this one's going to be a bit darker. Well, it's not too bad. Okay, and then this one, which is just going to be a little bit lighter. I missed a few bits there.
No, yeah, you go ahead and get your site. Get the down.
I'm going to do green. Or would I do brown? I'll do the dark brown now. So, and then a really good one. And then a medium one. And then this one. That doesn't look too bad. And then this one is going to be a bit darker. So it's doing it fast. It's not worrying about going outside the line. It's just, you just want to do it really as quickly as you can. The boxes are just there to sort of vaguely keep things in, so you know when to start and stop. Okay. So I've done that one. I've done that one. I've done the blue. I've done that one. I'm going to do the green one next, I think. So I'll do green. What's going on here? Why is that scraping like that? Please tell me that these pencils haven't gone weird on me. I'm going to get very upset if they have. Alright. And then very, 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 very light. And then medium. Another one. And then this one. Yep. Wow. And then, oh, see, I think I need to do a bit more on that one. And then this one is going to be can't really see that green there. I'm just going to go over it one more time. And I'm going to go over that one more time. And I'm going to go over that one more time. No, the middle one doesn't look right to me. I'll fix that one up a bit more. I'm going to make that a bit darker too. That's better. Okay. And then my last one is going to be the black pencil. So, very, very light. Almost just touching the page. Oh, great. I've just managed to make that way too dark. I'm going to have to adjust it now. That will be medium color, which is kind of going to be that, but it's going to kind of be more like that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be so it was raining. One, and then that one. And then that one could be a little bit darker. And then this one. And then this one. It's going to be a little bit darker than that one. Well, the middle one doesn't look right again, does it? Might have to make that one a little bit darker. Just a titch.
Sure. So it looks like you're all familiar with the data governance. I don't want to cover to the basic one, so I'll move from just level 100 to 200. Like
There we go.
to see.
So that's what you should sort of end up with. Now, it doesn't have to be, as I said, you don't have to keep within the squares. It's just so that you can see that the real colour that you start off with, it's this colour at the end here, are all these colours here. That's the true colour of it. So if you choose this colour or you choose green and you want it to be that green, you're going to have to press really hard to get that colour. If you want to have a tonal value of the same colour, then it's the amount of pressure that you're going to put on that's going to change the tonal value of each colour, okay, making it get lighter and lighter.
What the data governance is.
And then it gives you an idea of what the pencils can actually do, what you can achieve with them. You can, once you start to mix them together as well, it becomes a whole different ball game, but we're not going to do that today. But this is just so we can get our warm, it's like, before you exercise, you stretch your arms and legs and stuff before you go out, and not that I exercise, but anyway, I used to. But you stretch, you prepare yourself before you do exercise, before you go out, you make sure that you put your clothes on and you do your hair. So it's like a preparation to warm up to do this
Yeah.
exercise. So this is just sort of like a warm-up, and you can
Yeah,
do
Mark.
this every day if you want to with any colored pencil color you
Yes.
like, just so it keeps your
That's
hand
it.
in, so that you
So
maintain that eye and brain connection with your rendering skills.
like
All right.
ongoing.
So
Yes.
do this.
Sorry, Annalise, just got a question.
Yeah.
In my Moodle, it's not showing in my resources. I don't know where I can download from it.
Data map.
What this?
Data map.
I can't see it anything in my resources page.
What is a data catalog?
Like whatever you uploaded.
You will have that.
All right, I uploaded. Let me just bring the resource page, bring Moodle up.
That would help
If
the
I
user.
can.
Towards
It's that one. So can you see the Moodle page?
Yes, I can just see my Moodle. Yours is fine, but my one is not showing this stuff. Like the class, the one you uploaded it.
I want to
Yeah. So you're in technical drawing and illustration.
No, I'm not. Sorry. Sorry, my bad.
That's something that I do. That's something that I do. Oh, that's so good. So you should be in technical drawing and
Yeah, I can see it now. Sorry.
Okay, good. And then thing down the
Yeah, I
page.
got it now. Sorry.
Past the hand stuff, and then down here in really big letters.
It is. Yeah, it is now. Sorry. Wake up,
that's
wake up.
wonderful. That's lovely. Okay, and so now I can come back and I can look at my render.
You can say
Now you should have downloaded
there are options where you
down
can
here,
switch
or at
audio.
least that 1-point perspective thing. So if I go into that reference and I download that,
Current connector.
remember I handed this out
Assume
the
my
end of
model is
last
not
semester. We did that exercise last week, and we're going to finish this one off this week. So we did the whole perspective drawing,
once you got
which I'll get you guys to do. I know you weren't here
those are
because you were working, but you can what's the word I'm trying to look for here? You can do the actual drawing up of this later for me and just send through a line drawing.
you can
Okay.
use it.
But we're going to do the
So when you
rendering
register a source,
step by step
so
here.
you
So see how he's done
Create
that
pipeline.
exercise that we've
And that
just done?
can start doing the scanning.
How
The scan
you
is where
go
it's-
through
it's-
and you
you
go
understand
from very
the-
dark to very light.
Yeah.
That's the exercise we've just finished doing. And that's just so that when we do this, because this is from a specific book that I've got, which I can't remember the name of. And of course, I can't find any of my books at the moment because they're all packed in boxes. You can actually then, what's the word I'm looking for? We can then do this rendering, because as you can see, if I bring that forward a bit more so that you can see it. See how he's just used the very darkness of the pencil, and then this is the guy who's rendered this, and then he's come across here and he's not used as much pressure. So, and around these pillows here, and then he's used a sort of I think he's used a dark brown on there, but I thought that I would use the umber.
Yeah.
So I was going to use the umber and the blue. So if we get our blue and our umber out, and I just get rid of that picture, and come back to me, I can, and I'm just going to zoom in as well so that you guys can see it a bit better. No, I don't want any of that. I want my zoomy. More zooming. Right, so I'm bringing that up to there so you guys can see a bit better. Get rid of that. Okay, so he's got the blue going across here. I haven't made mine as long as his, but that's okay. So I'm just going to go across here I might start down here. And I'm just going to do it one way. I'm going to do it quite dark down here, but then you go across here and you just sort of make it a bit lighter. Okay, it's not going to be magnificent. And then he came around here with the pillows. He came down here. He did a bit more down here. Not so much across there. He had a bit darker in there, I think. I can't remember. He's quite dark down here. And again, some lightness around there. My lamp's in the way. I don't know if he's got a lamp in his. So again, it's just using that one coloured pencil to go from light to dark. If I wanted it to be darker, I might go over the top of it in a black, but at this point I don't need to. I just need it to be as much as what he's doing. Now I've put another pillow in front which is going to be white, but I'll do that with my black pencil later. I've got a pussycat on my bed. It's really cute.
That's cute.
And then on the floor, although I've got a rug here, he doesn't have a rug, but I'm just going to use this color. What's it called? Umber. And I'm just going to make it be darker as it comes further into the room. And then I'm going to make it get lighter as it comes up here. And it's going to be quite light. Now, this is the outside bit. And as things get further away from you, the lighter they become. Now, if it's too hard working this way, you can turn your piece of paper around and go from dark this way and then get lighter. Until you can come out here. So it doesn't matter if you're doing it upside down, as long as you can get the feeling or get the look that you want. I might do that again. Like that. And I'll turn it around this way. See that?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to do the same here as well. On here. So again, because I'm going to go from dark to light that way, I'll turn it upside down because it's easier for me to render that way. And I'm just going to make it come up to there. Now, see how I'm not even worrying about keeping within the lines?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what you want to do. Oh, you're outside again in that lovely chair.
Oh, thank you. My husband is on the call as well, so it's so loud.
Yes, I can hear. It's obviously giving someone instructions. I was just about to put my pen down and go, what do I have to do again? What was I supposed to do? And I'll do the same across here. It's going to be a bit darker in here, darker this side, and just touching the very front, just touching that. Now, because I've got a, what's this thing called? Lamp.
Lamp.
Thank you. I knew you'd be there for me. I'm going to just make it a little bit darker behind the lamp. So I'm casting a shadow. Can you see that?
Yep.
And it also makes the lamp sit on the object that it's supposed to be sitting on. That's why shading is really important and making things get darker and lighter. I'm going to go over to this side and I'm just very, very, again, barely going to touch the top part. I'm going to make this one a little bit darker in here. And not even going to really worry about the front part of that because I can't see it all. And I'm not going to worry about the front part of this one either because you can't really see it very much. Now, the side of the bed here is going to have, I can't remember what he did it in. I think it's just going to be like a dark brown or a black. Oh, I've completely and utterly forgotten, sorry. Let me just bring that up again. Ah, right, he used a darker brown. So he used the darker brown on the side of the bed here. We're not, and so we can do that too. So I'll use that dark brown, which is the walnut, whatever it's called, walnut something or other, walnut brown.
Yep.
And, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. I just moved that out of the way. Get out of the way. Come here. That's it. I want it over there so I can see it a bit better. So if I come back to my picture, and he's put a dark walnut across here. And he's also put it in here, but I don't like it as much. So I'm only going to use it on the bed. So again, I'm going to go, it's going to be darker down here, and then it's going to come up lighter. Now the reason why we didn't draw this line in when we were doing our perspective drawing is because if we want it to look like it's a soft bed with a throw coming over the top, we erased that line. Remember we did that, and we
Yep.
smoothed all these lines out? So I'm just going to, going back and forward, I'm just going to render this in a bit, make it a bit darker down the bottom. Make it a bit darker down the bottom again. But I'm going to stop the rendering just before where the line was before we got rid of it. So it's just showing a little bit of, so if I turn this back the right way, so I have to keep remembering to get this in the thing so that you can see it. It's just so that we can, this looks like it's a bit darker over here, and that dark brown helps create that. We can actually then, if you really want to, you can come back and just make
A little bit
the
darker.
curve in part of it a bit darker, following, so see how that's now doing, making it look like it's undulating. So the curve that goes upwards and those lines that correspond with it, just make that a little tiny bit darker, and that will give you the effect of the undulation of the bottom of the thing. And I'm going to send that back to there. So now we've got that nice thing happening. And then he did do it quite dark here. So I'm going to, below all of this, I'm going to do it quite dark through here on the very bottom, because it would cast a bit of a shadow, and we need to cast a bit of a shadow of the bed. Again, I'm going to go do it at a slight angle, but I'm not going to go all the way across, because I'm saying that the light is coming in
Light
here,
is coming through the bed.
which is the same as he's doing. And I'm just going to do that with the dark brown in here. A little bit more, a little bit darker in here. I might just flick that out a bit. The old flicking routine. I may come back and make that darker later, but at the moment, I think that's enough.
Yep.
Now, if I want to say that this is like a fluffy rug of some description, what I can do, and I'll make it quite dark in there because it's casting the shadow, is that I'm going to just, while I've still got my pencil here, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of a pattern over the top of this in that scribble hatching that I do, so that I can say that this is a, you know, this is a fluffy rabbit, a fluffy rabbit, a fluffy rug,
A shaggy rug.
a shaggy rug. Thank you, darling. That's it. A shaggy, throwy rug thing. And I can put a bit more, I can make it a bit darker in here, I think. And that's just going over the top of the hatching and the darkness that I've done. So that sort of just says, okay, well, that's a different kind of a surface to what this is. So this is just indicating that this is a rug, and that's the way we like it. All right, now we can then go to our beautiful side table lamps, and we can go, okay, are we going to make this
Round or just black?
brown or black? And that one, we'll make the lampshades white, but what color should we make these? We'll make them a sort of a grey color or a brown color. I don't know. Let's make them black. Let's have black bases, and I don't know why I'm going to do black bases, but anyway. Or dark brown. Let's make them dark brown. We'll pretend that they're made out of some sort of darker timber.
Timber, yeah.
So I'm going to just darken one side of it, sort of down here and up to about there, and then again render away really quickly, and that's all I have to do. And do the same with the other one, although you can't see the darkness there, but you can just vaguely do that. As long as it's really light here and this is really dark. And if I really wanted to add a bit more, I could make that a bit darker in there just to give it a bit more oomph. Now, these lampshades, because we're doing everything going in this direction, you know, at a 45-degree angle, I'll do the lampshade at a 45-degree angle as well. But I'm going to be very darken that line up at the back there. I'm just going to flick that away so it makes it look vaguely round. And there's my lampshade, and I'll do the same with that lampshade. So I'm not adding huge quantities of colour. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm only adding a little bit of colour. Although I think I might change. I don't like the brown. No. I'm going to make them blue. So I'm just going to go over the top of it with blue, because then it'll make me feel better. Oh, there we go. They're a browny blue colour. That's better. I just wanted them to be a slightly different colour to the top. So that's my. All right, there we go. That's better. So I was saying they're a browny blue colour, and if we've got a backing here, we'll make it the same colour as this. So we'll make this a timber backing, the same colour as that one. So it's going to be dark down this side until it gets really dark down here. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of darkness there and just some lines doing that. And that's enough to say, oh, timber. Okay.
Yep.
So it's different to what I've been talking to you guys about before, but this is just to do something, to do a really quick rendering. I mean, I'm doing it slowly for you and in steps, but this you can then go on to, you know, you can do it much faster and clean up. I think we'll make this a ginger pussycat. That's so cute. And I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny, weeny bit of black for the just for the eyes. Looks like a very spooky cat, doesn't it, now? And now it looks like a rabbit. Oh, good. Excellent. Well done, me. Anyway, if I just smudge that a little bit with my finger.
It looks like a hamster for me.
There we go. It's a pussycat with very dark eyes and a couple of little arms that come around here. There we go. That's enough. There we go, pussycat. A little bit darker on there, so he looks like he's actually sunk into the bed a little bit. There we go. Cute. All right. You don't have to do the pussycat. You can just leave him out.
Of course.
Now, I want to make, I'm going to use my black, but if you wanted to use a grey, you could, but I'm just going to stick with the colours that we've got, but I'm going to use this black very lightly. I'm going to go underneath and down the side here of this pillow, because we're just going to pretend that this pillow
It's white.
is white. That's right. And that's all I'm going to do of that, just so that we know that the pillow's there. I'm also going to come back and fix this up because it looks horrible, I reckon. And it stops too abruptly for me. There we go. All right. Now, the outside, we've got a couple of trees, a couple of bushes here and here. I think you can vaguely see them. And I'm just going to do that with my lovely green, because I like this green. I don't like the other green colours. They're just horrible. And I'm going to put it in a sort of a bunch kind of thing here. So I'll start here, and I'm going to go really dark, back to light. And then I'm going to put a couple of these here and there. That's just to say that they're little leaves. Do you know what I mean? Do the
Yep.
same here. With this one over here, I'm going quite dark here, back to quite light up here. And it's just vaguely a couple of these here and there. Now I'm just using the side of my pencil, and I'm just doing that so I create an odd shape. I'm going to go a bit darker in here, and I'm going to go a bit darker in here, darker down here. I think I went too dark there. I might just get my eraser and take a little bit of that off, which you can do with coloured pencil. You can't take it all off, but you can bring a bit of it back. That's better. I don't like that either. Let me just bring some of that out there. There we go. Now, if I wanted to make this look a bit darker on the ground, there's a couple of things I can do. I can go back and to my brown, this brown. Remember how we put this brown here?
Yep.
I'm going to go back so that it makes it look like it's sitting on the ground. I'm going to go in quite darkly, and I'm going to cast a tiny, like I did with these, with that one.
Yep.
I'm going to cast a bit of a shadow coming off both of those. So quite dark down here and around here, and sort of stop there, unfortunately. But anyway, so to make it a little, and then I will blend this brown back into the green. Okay, because what that's going to do is it's going to make the green look like it's a bit darker. So I do that, I'll do that, and I'll bring that in there. Quick, I'm not here. Hide me. And if you want it to go even darker and you want it to really look like it's sitting on the ground, I can use my dark brown and just come in to very, very, very bottom, and just so they now look like they're really sitting on the ground and they're casting a bit of a shadow. So that's just by very simply using these colours. Now the lovely pink colour that I was getting everyone to do, if you've got see how I've got a sort of a wedgy shape? Yep. I'm going to do that same thing I did with the leaves. You know how I did a quick flick?
Just once, yep.
I'm just going to do that randomly on here because we're going to pretend that we've got flowers on this
Yeah.
lovely shrub. Okay, you might even see them back there. I might put a couple floating as well, as if they're coming off the thing. And that sort of is it's a flower. I don't know what flower I don't even know what the bush is called. It's some sort of bush. It's just a plant, all right? It's just a plant.
Yep.
I have no
I
idea.
got it.
And then, and I don't know why this works, but it always looks really good. You know how I got you guys to get that expensive correction?
Yes.
Because it doesn't dry out like the other one. And also it is a really nice white. Then you get this and you go randomly dot around onto this and again on here randomly. Don't think about it too much. More on this side than back here. And for some reason, that makes it look like a plant. And I don't know why. But it just makes it look plant-like, you know, as if there's some reflection happening or some light hitting one of the leaves and bouncing off it. It's a bizarre thing. But anyway, it's always a good thing to do. I use it quite often to do because I like doing, of course, I've got orchids, but I like doing orchids. So I will do an orchid. All right, this is me doing an orchid, okay?
Yes.
I'll have some shushing from all of you. So I do orchids and I do them quite quickly. I'm just going to make that a bit darker and then a bit darker in there. I'm using that brown to do that and a bit more of the green pencil over the top. And then the orchid part up here, which is this, and I'm going to do scribble. See how I'm doing that scribble? I'm going to do the same with that off that way. It's just as a base to begin with. And then I get my white out and I go sorry, I was meant to do it in things, but I didn't take it off. And I do that. And then when that dries, I'll come back with my thing. I have to wait for it to dry. And I'll very gently, here's some white out here that's dried. I'll very gently just put a little bit of that there in the center of all of those. And there's an orchid.
Yeah, it's nice.
See? But all I'm doing, and that's the little bits at the end of the orchid that my cat eats. You know, the little buds. My cat eats those. I'll wait for that to dry and then I'll put this over the top. But that's enough to say orchid.
Yes, look like the same one at the back. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Because they've got, well, some of them are pink and some of them are yellow. I put pink in. I don't know why it sits up better. But you could put sort of an orangey yellow in. Ooh, let's try an orangey yellow just while we're here. It's a brilliant idea. Thank you. Okay. Oh dear, doing this, and then I think I'm going to use that one. It's, what colour is that? I can't even read the colour. Dark chrome yellow. Yep. So I think that might work. It can't be a bright yellow. It has to be a darker yellow because it won't show up. You could use both, I suppose. Is this dry now? Eek. No, I can't get it to go. Oh, yes, I can. So every so often. No, it's not dry enough yet. I've got to wait until it dries a bit more. But anyway, you can sort of see it happening. So it's sort of, you know, there you go. Orchids. That's how you do it. Quickly do the tree. I'm going to do the tree. I'm going to use the dark brown. So you can vaguely see the tree-like things that I've had in there anyway. And I'm going to do that. Okay, and just going to render away from those lines a little bit, because what that does is it sort of makes it look like the light is hitting the tree. Just sort of see what I'm saying? And so I've got tree and then do that. So it's just a whole lot of lines, and you can flick those lines out. Oops, what am I doing? I'm doing that. And then I want another one that comes out there. And a couple of little branchy things there. And then I'll put some very soft lines here. And very soft lines here. So I've just made it so that the dark's on one side and the light's on the other side. And then if you want to, you can do the same thing that we did with the branches. You can put in some lovely tree-like substance type of thing. Just, you know, randomly, don't have to go too dark. If you want to hide some of it out there, I wouldn't actually make it go darker when it's outside. What I'd do is I'd actually use an eraser and just make it go lighter towards the top. That includes those branches, because you just want to intimate that they're trees. You don't want to sort of go overboard. You just want to go, there's a couple of trees out there. That's all you need to do. I'm going to make that softer, those lines. I think they're a bit too dark. There we go. That's made me feel a bit better. And then at the end of this, I'm just going to use either a 2B pencil. Have I got a 2B? I've got a 6B, but it'll be all right if I don't go too dark. I'm just going to come in and refine the things that I can't see anymore. So I'm going to draw these things in, which are the glass doors, and this one. Go across here. That's the top of the thing. I think the top of this is somewhere here. It's from there to there somewhere. Where is that? That's that one. And that's that one. And I think it's there. There. And that's there. And I'll get rid of that. So I'm just vaguely drawing in, just so I can see the rest of the room again. If you wanted to, let's bring that up. I'm not going to touch any of the, you know, the ceiling or anything like that. I may put, you know, a vague kind of bluey green thing here, which is just going to be pretending it's some sort of abstract arty thing or watercolor or something that's on here. And some brown. Where's that brown? There's brown, and I'm just going to create something that looks vaguely like a watercolor of some description. And then I'm going to do that. And that's a picture above the bed. Whoops. And that's just a picture above the bed. And that's that is all you have to do. I might just make that a bit darker through here. From here down and on that wall there. So that looks like it's casting shadow in here. Here we go. And then I can darken in the bits that I really want to see. I'll do that, I'll do that, I'll do that, and I'll put that on the ground. There we go. So I've just brought the bits, some of the stuff up so I can see it a bit better. And I can see down here a bit better and clarified that up a little bit. We've got the outside of a window with some stuff happening out there. Not going to put too much detail on it. It's just, this is what we're looking at more than anything else. It's just the bed and what it looks like. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to make that a bit darker in there all the way around here. I'm going to go over that with the brown pencil a bit more. Well, that makes me feel better. Yeah. Sorry, it's just me now making something look a bit darker. Better. Better, 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 better. Going up here. Casting a bit of a shadow there. Geek. Better. Oh, no, it won't come off at all. Okay, fine. So I'll smudge it a bit so it doesn't look as bad. That's better. Okay, so that's what you should have when you finish. Something that looks a little bit like that or more like his. It's up to you if you want to put a bit more darkness into things. If you want to make them, you know, look. I'm just going to put some darkness in there and some darkness in there. So they look like they're going in and out. And then I will get the brown pencil and cast a tiny bit of a shadow on my throw because it's and I'm going to cast just on this side of the throw a bit of dark brown so it looks like it's sort of there. Okay, beautiful. All right, so that's what you should have at the end of this, so it's all really nice, and then you can, you know, take a photo of it, crop it if you can on your phone.
Yep.
Which I think you can do with most of the phone apps that you have, and then you can send it through to yourself and then put it up for me to have a look at. And I'm just going to sign that down the bottom there because it looks cool. Not that it's really my work, but anyway, there you go.
Yep.
Okay.
Just got a question on this. So
Yes, you darling.
I'm not good at the hand drawing perspective view, like the lines, you know, the room lines and that stuff, ceilings.
Yep.
So if you want to practice that one, what is the best way? Like, how can I start from the beginning? Like,
Okay, well, we're going to do, after we have a little tiny break, because we're just going to have a little, like, 15-minute break, so you can go to the bathroom and make yourself a cup of tea or coffee or something, or get yourself a drink. There we go. Yep. That's better. That looks better, doesn't it? I'll get rid of that. And we're going to draw a 2-point perspective. We're going to set up a grid for a 2-point perspective. So that will help you most definitely. Okay?
yep, okay.
So I'm just going to pop my colour pencil.
Because I tried a couple of pictures, but it came out very bad. Like, I'm not happy about it.
Look, with most things, when you're learning something new, you just have to keep practicing it. And, you know, if you don't feel like you're getting enough information from me, or you're not quite understanding it, have a look online and see what other people are doing, because they might
Yeah, I need to practice. I know that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It is. I'm so sorry, but it is practice.
Yeah, got it, Annalise. Thanks for that. The beautiful
That's okay.
picturesque some.
So obvious, isn't it, really, when you think
It
of
is actually, yeah.
Yeah, so if you just practice, Anne, you'd be okay. I'm going to pop that one there and that one there. And then they're my browns. No, that one's going
So we
dark.
have to send this picture. Today is the last day, or just we have a couple of.
If you can send it over the next couple of days, that would be lovely.
Yep.
Before the weekend would be good. Okay, I'm just popping my coloured pencils away. So give yourself 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, make yourself a cup of tea, get up, jump around, so that you're not sitting in one place. I'm just going to stop.